Hi, my name is Rudy Pila, and today I invite you to make a cup of cute cacao with me. Let's get started. What we want to do now is open her up and see what she looks like. So now that we have the cacao unwrapped, now we can cut into it. Most people like to start in the middle. It is best to start in the edge. This is very hard. So start at the edge and almost like you're gonna shave it off. It's gonna be a pretty coarse chop up in the beginning, and that's great. So for a ceremonial dose, which is considered 1.5 ounces, it looks more like this, which is about half a cup. So not everyone needs to do a full ceremonial dose. That's if we want to go into a deep meditation or sound healing or some slow yoga class. You can do a lot less than that, and really depending on what recipe you'll be using. Check out my link in the description for more great recipes. So there are two methods of making cacao. The first method involves a blender, while the second does not. We're gonna do both methods today. I am going to cut the cacao a little finer for the method not using a blender. The smaller the better. Some people even use a cheese grater. To each their own. For this method, I like to use a mason jar. So next we add the water. Now this is a pretty delicate process. So what we want to do initially is to actually create a paste with the cacao. And the way we do that is we add water, slowly, and a small amount. Literally just enough to cover the cacao. Perfect. Once we have the water in, we want to close it up nice and tight. I kind of like to swirl it around first because if the water is quite warm, it's going to create pressure inside of the mason jar. So stir it up nice and slow until the air inside gets hot. And then once it does do that, then you can go ahead and give it a good shake. This is a really key part, believe it or not. We want the cacao consistency, and at least in the very beginning, to be quite thick and melted down as much as possible. And then we can add more water. Probably about 4 to 5 times. This is about 8 ounces, which is a nice, still pretty thick cup of cacao. And that's what it looks like. Now we're gonna get into making the cacao in a blender. Much more of a simpler process. So in this cup, I have the cacao already. And then all you gotta do is add the water. And it's up to you, like I said, how much liquid you put in for the consistency. Here we go. There are many ways to make cacao and many ingredients you can add to cacao, and anything from salt to sugar to soy sauce. I've heard it all. In this recipe, however, I keep it pretty simple and I add what I love to add to my cacao every time, which is some vanilla extract, Himalayan pink salt, some cinnamon, and some maple syrup for a sweetener. This, of course, all of this is optional. You can also add a non-dairy milk to your cacao. You could even use it as the base instead of water. It's important not to use dairy like cow's milk because it will inhibit the natural active components in cacao that make it so magical. So I'll have the measurements below in the description, but I basically just play with it. all you gotta do is close it up, shake it up, and it's ready to go. And now the final step is to get your cacao and place it into your favorite mug. And that is how you make cacao. Enjoy.